Today we are talking about incremental upgrades and what they mean and what they are and how we can do them in our lives to level up our manifestations.
But before we get into that, I want to share with you that these first episodes of the Soul-Led Millionaire are actually episodes that I recorded in a previous podcast that I used to have back in 2019. And the reason that I want to include these episodes in this show is because I think it's such a great way to see someone's journey, to see their progress, to see how far they've come. I know I always love seeing someone else's experience and the obstacles they've overcome, as well as what they've learned, as well as how they've evolved over time. So I think it's a great way to bring this to you, to show you where I was at only those few years ago, and to see how far I've come since then. As well as the fact that these episodes were great when I recorded them, and they're very dear to me. So I figured, why waste them? Why not let you have these episodes as well? So I hope you enjoy this episode. And if you do, please come over and leave a review for the show and let me know on Instagram what you thought of it. Now, without further ado, let's get into the episode.
So, where I learned about incremental upgrades was actually from Denise Duffield-Thomas, which is, as you probably know by now, one of my favorite money mindset mentors other than me. And she basically talked about the incremental upgrade in the sense of classes on an airplane, right? So asking yourself whether your life or whether particular areas of your life were either economy, premium, business, or first class, and what areas of your life are economy or business or premium or first class, and if you like where they're at, right? I think that's more important. And if not, then you need to incrementally upgrade that area, right? So that's like the gist of what an incremental upgrade is. And I love it because it tells you pretty clearly whether you need or want to upgrade or not. But for this episode, I want to take it a step further and a step deeper and really explore all the levels you can upgrade, because it's not just by getting new stuff or more expensive things. It's not that at all. You can upgrade in very different ways without spending money that actually make you feel like you've shot up to first class. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this episode. The first thing that I really, really want to reiterate to you is that incrementally upgrading doesn't mean going into debt. It is not about living above your means. It is not about buying new things for the sake of it, or because they're perceived as the next level up. It is not that at all. It is always, always, always about your vibration and alignment first. Always. It's not about how much money you can spend. It's not about going into debt. And because that's doing that screws with your vibration anyway. So it's not about that at all. It is about becoming a vibrational match first and upgrading that way. Here's what I mean. A few weeks ago, I flew back from the States to New Zealand, and I flew in economy. I usually pick seats to sit on at the back of the plane. I like sitting at the back of the plane because it's closer to the bathroom, and I don't know, I just like it. I've always been the kid who liked sitting at the back of the bus, so it makes sense that I like to sit at the back of the plane. I chose my seat to be right at the back, and when I got on the plane, I realized that there wasn't a lot of people on this flight, not in my area anyway, and so I had an entire row to myself. There was no one sitting on the seats in front of me for quite a few seats, and there was no one sitting behind me at all. So I literally was like, oh my God, I have this part of the cabin to myself. So I pulled all the pillows from all the different seats, all the blankets. I pushed the armrest back up, and I just basically made it like my little cubby and relaxed. And the flight attendant even brought me more snacks because I was right there. I had easy access to the restroom, and I didn't have to wait at all because there was no one there. And it honestly felt like I was in first class because I had so much room and space. And so this 9-hour flight was so enjoyable and relaxing. And I just watched movies the whole flight. I didn't sleep at all. I just really enjoyed it. And that felt first class to me. I didn't pay for the first class ticket, but it felt first class to me. And as I have said before, and as we all know, it's all about how you feel. All about how you feel. So on that, I want to talk about my brand new iPhone that I just got. And If you watch my Instagram stories or you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I mentioned this the other day, that I was going to tell the story about my iPhone and incremental upgrades and how this episode came about from this blimmin' iPhone. So for the last 4 years, I've always had a Samsung Galaxy S6. Please don't judge me for having an Android. I have loved it, okay? And at the time when I bought it, it was such a big upgrade for me because I think the phone I had before it was like a iPhone 4S, so it was huge. It was a huge upgrade. And it was also around the time that I started my business. And I wanted to be able to use different apps in case, I needed to do some things for the business quickly on my phone. And like, I wanted to be able to take photos for Instagram, but really like it was just, I wanted like a nice new phone. And it served me so well. Like I took it all over the world with me and I've loved it. I have had no problems with this phone. But over the last year, I've felt that it's slowly and sadly moved out of alignment with me. My poor phone. Me and my phone were drifting apart. And I kept having storage issues. So it was a 64 gig. And because I was traveling and taking a lot of photos and videos, it would run out of storage all the time. And so I'd have to upload my photos to my hard drive and blah, blah, blah. You get it. And it was just becoming, more out of alignment with me because I was now needing more from my phone. But like I had worked the camera to death because hello Instagram stories if you watch them, and like certain apps started getting a little bit glitchy, not like enough for me to be super bothered by it, but just enough to be like, this is kind of an inconvenience. And so I knew I needed to upgrade, and even my friends were giving me shit about it. They were like, you said that you wanted to upgrade a year ago. And I was like, I know, but because there was no need for it, there wasn't anything actually wrong with my phone because I take really good care of my phones, unlike my friends. I wasn't in a rush to upgrade, but because I've been playing with the new energy of the next level that I want to level up to in my business and life, in that process, I realized that it's necessary for me to upgrade my phone. It actually is, because now I host a podcast and iTunes is the main place that people listen to my podcast, and Androids don't have iTunes, right? But it's not just that. Like I film YouTube videos and I have been carting a camera around with me wherever I go, but I'm finding it's just not the best use of equipment that I could have. And I did some research and I realized that I could get a lot out of my iPhone if I just got that and I could use it to film videos rather than carting more gear around. And also I travel 100% more than I did back when I got my phone, when I first got it. So I need something that can do all of that on one device because I travel, because I, live out of a suitcase, because I need something to kind of do everything. And so it was a necessary upgrade because I run my business from my phone essentially. And once I understood that, my energy lined up and I got my new iPhone and already it makes me feel super next level, super upgraded, which then puts me further in alignment with that new level. And saying that, upgrading doesn't mean more expensive. It's what you define as the most valuable to you. To you, okay? Really understand that. Upgrading isn't always about getting the most expensive thing. It's about what you personally define as valuable and upgraded to you. It's what feels in alignment with you and your specific needs and preferences. It is essentially what brings you joy. Here's what I mean. You know how us ladies, if you're a lady, we have jewelry boxes, right? We have jewelry, so we usually put our jewelry in jewelry boxes. And I've had many over the years. Some I've bought, but most I've been gifted. And most of them would probably be considered quite expensive to most people. And truth be told, I never really cared for them. I just, jewelry box, I didn't care about it. But a few years ago, I went to the craft market in my hometown one day with my mum, and I happened to come across this stall filled with antique trinkets. And me and my mum have this thing, we love going to antiques and thrift stores. And amidst all this stuff, I saw this crystal bowl that I fell in love with. Like it instantly made me feel aligned with how I wanted to feel by what surrounded me. And it made me feel joy. And when I picked it up, I was like, I love this. I love this. I want it. And so I bought it. And still, I'm looking at it right now. It brings me so much joy. I love this crystal bowl and I put all my jewelry in it. And guess how much it cost? $5. Most of the jewelry boxes I've owned before are probably $70 or whatever more. And I didn't care for them because they didn't bring me joy. But upgrading for me was a $5 jewelry box, not because of the price, but because of how it made me feel. It made me feel up-leveled, upgraded. The same goes with this bedroom drawer set I bought years ago. So when I was living with my ex-boyfriend at the time, we were using my very old, very worn out bedroom drawer set that I had had since I was like 15. And we had just moved into our first place together and we needed to get a new bedroom set, but like we weren't in a position to buy brand new. Hell, we weren't even in a position to buy anything, but I was like, I can make this work. Let me figure it out. So I thought about what kind of furniture I liked, right? And so when you think about things that you like, you obviously go into how it makes you feel, right? You don't think about how it makes you feel, but you're attracted to things visually, right? But usually it's, I guess you would call it the base emotion is how it makes you feel. So what I did is I jumped on Trade Me, which is like New Zealand's version of Craigslist, and I scoured listings for something in our price range. And I came across this amazing, almost brand new black modern bedroom set that was valued at $2,500. But the people who were selling it were only selling it for $350 because they needed to sell it quickly because the drawer set didn't fit in their new home and they had to get rid of it because it took up too much space. And so I bought it then and there. And to this day, I love these friggin' drawers. Like, they make me feel so upgraded, so up-leveled. I love them, and I'm looking at them again right now. That's how much I love them. Like, you can tell in my voice, it brings me joy to have these things in my bedroom where I am right now. I love what I'm looking at. I love my drawers, and I love my crystal jewelry box, right? That's what I mean about upgrading. It doesn't necessarily mean more expensive. It's about what brings you joy and what makes you feel upgraded. And in saying that, upgrading also doesn't mean spending money sometimes, right? Sometimes the incremental upgrade is just getting rid of the shit that bothers you, right? All the stuff you've held on to that you aren't aligned with anymore, getting rid of it. And that's it. That can be an upgrade. So I just saw on the news recently, there was like a beach in Mumbai in India that was completely covered in trash. And a big group of people decided to band together and clean the whole beach up and literally got rid of all this trash that was on the beach. And the beach now looks like $1,000,000. It looks like somewhere you want to swim. So the beach upgraded, right? By having all the trash being removed. It's the same thing. Sometimes the incremental upgrade is just getting rid of all the shit and making room and space for you to feel more upgraded with what you have, right? One of my uncles always used to say to me, it's about quality over quantity. You don't need lots, but if you have quality, you feel a lot more abundant, a lot more wealthy, a lot more rich because what you have is all quality. And it also comes back to consciously deciding on every single thing that you have around you and that's in your life. You have consciously chosen to have it there because it makes you feel a certain way, whether it's books or it's decor items or it's a jewelry box or it's a table lamp or it's your clothes. You have consciously participated in every moment of getting these things to make you feel upgraded. Another way that I've learned to upgrade is by returning things that don't feel aligned with me. Like, for instance, online shopping orders. So if you are an avid online shopper, you will know what I mean. So in the past, I used to buy things online, right? And if I got something that either I didn't like or it didn't fit or it looked weird, I would just keep it and then try and sell it at a loss. Or I would like keep it and then hope one day I would like it and just keep it in my drawers for years to never wear it and then eventually sell it at a total loss, right? Not anymore. Now I return it. I return the item and I either get a refund or I exchange it for something else. And since I have started doing this, it has made me feel like I've up-leveled. It's made me feel like I've raised my standards. It's made me feel like I have set this level that I'm at and I won't go under it. So if I order this thing and it happens not to fit or it happens to not fit weird, I'm not just going to like put up with it, be the pushover or the nice girl in a sense. I am intentionally saying, no, thank you, this was nice, this was lovely, but it's not for me. So I'm going to send this back and I would like this instead. So you're setting your standards by upgrading what you will and will not tolerate. So now that we're clear on all the different ways you can incrementally upgrade your life, let's talk about how you can do so for yourself, how you can actually incrementally upgrade your life. Number one, I recommend that you either get a notebook or a piece of paper and you think about all the different areas of your life that are important to you or that you want to include, such as money or your business or your home or your relationships or your health and wellness or your wardrobe, right? Create little boxes, I guess, for each area. The second thing you need to do is think about all the things in those areas that already make you feel rich, wealthy, and abundant, and note it down in each area. So maybe in money, having a really nice, chic wallet makes you feel like $1 million. Put that down. Maybe for your home, having candles lit or flowers in the kitchen makes you feel like you are so freaking rich. Put that down. Or maybe it's just being around your friends, like they're just good people, they look out for you, they love you unconditionally. Put them down. Then, once you've done that, once you're clear on what feels like high quality, what feels first class in your life, now that you have it there, it's now easier to see what doesn't feel like high quality, what doesn't feel first class, what doesn't feel upgraded. So the third thing you need to do is ask yourself what in these areas doesn't feel aligned anymore. So in money, the category of money, maybe having a credit card with a high interest rate just doesn't feel aligned and you don't want to have it anymore, or you want to negotiate a different interest rate. Or maybe if you're talking about your business, your office has too many things on your desk and you just don't like that. So you're either going to get rid of the stuff on your desk or get rid of the stuff overall. Or if we're looking at your wardrobe, maybe you have some old worn t-shirts that just don't make you feel great. Put that down. Number 3, what you're going to do is if you don't need it, get rid of it. Okay, so sell it, donate it, recycle it, whatever. If you don't actually need this thing, let it go. Make space in your life for that new upgraded vibration and energy to come in. Number 4, what you're going to do is after that, you've gotten rid of all the stuff that you don't want or need, create a list of what you would like and or need to upgrade now. So is it underwear? Is it new shirts? Is it a new wallet? Is it less stuff on your desk? Is it less stuff in your kitchen? Is it more candles? Is it less pens? Is it less notebooks? Is it more notebooks? What is it? Write it all down. Then number 5, you're going to ask yourself, what do you actually value? Because you've created a list of things that you would like to upgrade or need to upgrade, but you don't necessarily value everything that you've put in there, right? For example, the other day I needed to upgrade my socks. I have very little socks and most of them have holes in them. I don't really value socks, as you can tell. I really don't, but I will spend hundreds of dollars on a new dress or a new jacket or a new shirt. But socks? Hell no. I don't value them at all. So I will literally only spend a couple of dollars on them. Like $3 is a stretch. $3 for a pack of 3 socks is like, that's up-leveled for me because I just don't value them enough. Ask yourself, what do you actually value? Out of these things that you need, what do you value? And you can prioritize what things you will upgrade first and what things you can upgrade but don't necessarily mean spending a lot of money or any money. Now, after that, number 6, what you're going to do with the things that you do value, going through each list, ask yourself, is there a true need for this in my life, or do I just want it for the sake of wanting it? And the reason I'm getting you to ask yourself these questions is to really figure out if it's something that you truly want, like truly desire. Some things you just need, like underwear. But for the things that you want, ask yourself, is there a true need for this in your life? You want to ask yourself because you want to be consciously choosing the things in your life that make you feel upgraded. You know, I want you to be able to look around your surroundings, look around your home, and know that you have consciously chosen each and everything that's there. And then, of course, number 7, will this make you feel rich, wealthy, and abundant for the long term or just for the moment? Right? Because a lot of the times we can get caught up in these like shiny pennies. You know, we have all that glitters kind of syndrome where it's just like, oh, it's so pretty. I want it. I want it. I want it. I want it. And then you get it and you're like, cool, I've got it. I've got it. Yeah, now I want something else. And that's what we want to steer clear of. Just like consuming for the sake of the thrill of it. Okay, so ask yourself, will this make you feel rich, wealthy, and abundant for the long term or just for the moment? And that, my friend, is how you incrementally upgrade your life.
Hey, it's Elise again. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a lot out of it. And if you did, I would love for you to share your review of this episode on iTunes. I want this podcast to get out to as many people as possible to help them become soul-led millionaires. So if you could do that, if you love the show and you want to share the love, please make sure you leave a review. If you would like more goodies, if you just can't get enough and you want to learn even more, I have a free 3-day workshop on how to manifest $1,000 or more in 30 days that I would love for you to take. All the details of that are in the show notes below. Otherwise, if you just want to say hi, come over to Instagram at Elise McDowell. Thank you once again for listening to this episode. I will see you again soon.